Greg Lamberson. How you doing, man?
Doing well. It's been a really good show. Yesterday was phenomenal.
Let's talk about the new movie, Johnny Gruesome.
I wrote the script for Johnny Gruesome in 1984 when I was 19 years old. I wrote it right around the same time I wrote Slime City. It had a bigger budget than Slime City, and I could never raise that money. So I made Slime City instead, and made micro-budget films with the same type of budget as Slime City for maybe 30 years. The last one I did at that budget level was called Killer Rack, which I filmed in Buffalo. But I never let Johnny Gruesome go. 10 years ago, I turned the script into a book, and 2 years ago, I raised the budget I needed to make a real movie. When I say a real movie, I mean not one that I made with friends on weekends, but a movie in which I could hire a professional crew, some union actors. We got Anthony De La Torre, who played young Jack Sparrow in the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Michael DiLorenzo, who was the star of New York Undercover for many years. We shot the movie in Buffalo, and it is now available at last on Amazon Prime and iTunes in the States, and it'll be available on DVD in January.
You mentioned that Anthony is the star of the film. I interviewed Anthony a couple of months ago when he came in with his band, The Fell.
Oh, yeah.
He was telling me how much he enjoyed working on the film. He talked all about it. And then he told me that he's stepping back from acting a little bit because he wanted to be a big rock and roll star.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later he decided he's back to acting. He's no longer doing that.
Well, it's a fickle business, and Anthony is a multi-talented guy. He's an actor, he's very good, and he is a great musician. The reason I cast him, even though he has a big management team, at the time he was managed by the people who managed Ariana Grande. He contacted me on his own because he saw a backstage ad, and he sent me music videos he had done with it was a band called De La Torre. It was a self-named rock band, and the videos blew me away. And he sent me his acting audition for a film called Lords of Chaos, which is about the heavy metal church burnings and a murder in Norway many years ago. And the music videos and the audition blew me away. And he did tour with The Fell. I don't know if he left them or if they left him. And now he's appearing on I'm not sure if it's Stars or Showtime, but it's a TV show called Vida about two Hispanic sisters. And I think he's going to explode. I just don't know in what field. He was fantastic in the film. He was great to work with. 30 years, I always wondered who would I cast in this movie, and every actor I ever looked at, a name actor, was like a compromise. It's like, that's not really what I see the character as. He was perfect, and I'm so happy we cast him, and he did a great job in the film.
Listen, I watched the film. It was excellent.
Thank you.
Very good. You do have some other actors in there that you know the face. I mean, you had to look it up to see who the name was. It was just the one guy who played the father.
Michael DiLorenzo. I'll tell you something about Michael DiLorenzo. Most people know him from New York Undercover. He was on the cover of TV Guide, him and Yoba, the co-star. He was a child prodigy. At 13, he was studying ballet with Baryshnikov.
Oh, wow.
And that's what led to him playing a dancer in the movie version of Fame, and then they made him a regular character on the TV show of Fame, and then he was on Head of the Class for 2 years. And he was also the star of a show on HBO, Showtime, for 2 years called Resurrection Boulevard, about a boxer. So he's done a lot of stuff, and I'm glad he did the part. We brought him out for 3 days. It's what you call a cameo role, but he was really powerful, I thought, in the scene.
Oh, yeah,
so it was great to have him out.
But it was so cool, it was just like, I had to pull up the phone, you know what I mean? Like, I know this guy, I gotta see, you know what I mean?
It was probably a surprise, because it's like, wait, this is Greg Lamberson who made Slime City, and yet I know this actor. How is that possible?
Right, exactly.
But that's what happens when you go with a bigger budget. You try and get people with more experience.
So now that you've done a bigger budget film, you've gotten more experienced actors, what's next for you? I mean, it's open up more doors for you?
Well, I'm opening the doors myself, unfortunately. They never opened for me. But I'll tell you what's going on. I did Johnny Gruesome for $250,000. All my other films were $50,000 or less. The extra budget really just allowed me to hire a professional crew and professional actors, and of course we got Robbie Tatak to do our theme song from the Goo Goo Dolls. I could never have done that on any of my old films. I shot another film over the summer in August. It's called Widow's Point, and Widow's Point is an adaptation of a book of the same title by Richard Chismar and Billy Chismar. Richard Chismar has written stuff with Stephen King. He's written some television. His star is rising, and the book is very scary. It was very well received. It's about a haunted lighthouse, and for that one we cast Craig Sheffer,
Oh, wow.
the star of Nightbreed and Hellraiser and Inferno, who I met with on a TV movie 5-6 years ago called Battle Dogs that I worked on. And we're really good friends. We're developing a project together based on one of my books. He really did the movie as a favor for me, so I owe him one. That movie is scary. Johnny Gruesome's a lot of fun, but Widow's Point I think is going to be genuinely scary, and I think that's probably going to be my breakthrough. The other thing I have going on is for about 3 years now, a filmmaker named George Mihalka, who's an institution in Canada. He directed the original My Bloody Valentine. He has been developing a potential TV series based on my Jake Hellman Files books. It's an occult detective series of books. I wrote 6 books. Personal Demons was the first one. He has attached a very big star to act in this TV show if it happens and executive produce it. In this business, having a star attached is what gets a deal going. So at the beginning of the year, he'll be taking it out to Netflix and a bunch of places, and I have a feeling this may be a go.
Awesome, man. Good for you.
That would be be the real time, the big time.
Yeah,
you know, that would be making a living, not scrounging out a living, and making my family go to horror conventions on weekends. You know, everyone makes sacrifices. My daughter had a choir concert today that she had to pass up on to come to this convention, but we've had a great time.
Well, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to get it out there.
You do, and I have a pretty big following in Canada, maybe a bigger following than I do in the States. I don't know, because my publisher took me to Fan Expo for many years in Toronto.
Right.
So a lot of people here know my books, and I haven't done one in a few years, so it's great to come to one in this country and see so many of these people again.
Now, people want to follow up. They want to know more about the other projects you got going on. They want to see release dates. They want to see updates.
Sure.
Is there a website or?
There's no one website, but each one of my projects has its own Facebook page. So Johnny Gruesome has its own Facebook page. We'll announce when things are happening with that. And Widow's Point, the movie, has its own Facebook page. And Entertainment Weekly just posted a gallery of photos last week. So that's already a sign that these projects are heading in the right direction for me.
Perfect. All right, man. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward